one of the better kickers in the NFL. I think he got a bum rap on that hole. The laces were facing. You gotta have the laces out.
That makes a difference as opposed to what Tyrone Hughes said, baby doll.
If you kick through the laces, it's tough for you to kick a field goal. You can't kick a 10-yard field goal with the laces.
Even though he made 57-yarder with the laces facing. But I mean,
he got his foot under the laces.
It could easily make a difference. Yeah,
right.
So what they call it back on the side of the ball, the sweet spot.
That's it. If you try to kick a long field goal, you got to kick through the middle of the ball.
Yeah,
all right. And when you try to kick through the middle of the ball, he kick right through the laces.
What's up, baby? What you talking about?
Well, when I was talking to Tyrone Hughes and other football players and other sports analysts, they said that the laces doesn't matter.
Which we know
coming from Tyrone Hughes, who's a great kicker.
Well, I'm sure you've seen it.
That's not why he went to the Saints Hall of Fame.
In college.
Right.
No,
trust me when I'm telling you, a kicker has a tough time kicking through the laces.
No.
Absolutely. Even if the fact that he made it without. But maybe not good.
No, but if it's facing a certain angle, it will make it right or left. That's really what was supposed to happen.
Right. Hard to spin the ball with the cold weather, though.
When they saw it wasn't the place kicker's fault. That's what everybody is saying, and only a couple of people are saying that it was.
But Marquette, you're giving him a pass because of the laces.
I'm giving him a pass, not because of the laces. I'm giving him a pass because of the hole. You know what I mean? You got to get the hole right. Not only, it's
not just the laces, but the
heel. Because they didn't want to spin it because it was too cold.
Should have slipped. Right. But anyway,
I just think that kickers get a bum rap in the NFL. It's a tough job. It's much tougher than you think. You know, it's a lot of pressure on you. You know, I realize.
Love you or hate you.
I realize it's
practice to kick the football with the laces in, out, sideways, left, right. Because
even though they practice,
on a Thursday,
you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah. Because of the weather situation.
You never know. And I think Scott
Really, he was supposed to hit that ball in no matter what angle or whatever because it was so close. He said it could have been the size of a watermelon. I should have still made that
shot. And I do agree with it. It was a chip shot. You know, you should have made it.
Should have been the game winner.
It's your only job in the NFL. You got to kick field goals when they're there. You know, when you get attempts for them, you got to make the field goals. But at the same time, I see where he's coming from. You know?
Andrew, how you feeling about laces in, laces out?
Honestly, I talked to some coaches about it, and with a chip shot like that, it shouldn't be. That's my opinion.
Well, I agree with everybody here. Everybody's got some good points. That's why everybody's a guru here at the Sports Guru Show, Marquette.
That's what's up.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Houston Texans 30-0. The Chiefs forced 5 turnovers and shut out the Texans in Houston for their first playoff win since 1994.
Which, by the way, was my pick, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay, because you weren't here last week.
I wasn't here last week, but that was my pick, was Kansas City.
I got you.
And they not only did they win, they stomped a mud hole in the air.
Yeah, well, the last time Kansas City won a playoff game at Joe Montana and Marcus Allen.
Really? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? I remember that.
Kansas City jumped ahead with the go-ahead score, the second quickest in NFL postseason history, 11 seconds. Niles Davis went 106 yards with the opening kickoff, and like I said, that was the go-ahead score.
I knew when he returned that kick. I said, "Yep, there's my money right there."
Yeah, you're right. Brian Hoyer had the worst game of his career, 4 interceptions and a fumble, and was accountable for all 5 of the Texans' turnovers. J.J. Watt left in the third quarter with an injury and was stopped on his attempt to run into the end zone. First time I thought he tried that this year.
He did it earlier this year.
Yeah.
He did it one time, and it didn't pan out to anything.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, they did it last
this
year.
This is not the time to do that.
I agree.
When you try to come back in the playoffs.
You don't do something like that when you're trying to come back. You give the ball to the ball handler.
Right. The Chiefs dominated with Alex Smith going an efficient 17 of 22. He was sacked 3 times, but he did run for 27 yards. Your boy Spencer Ware had a TD touchdown run. 128 yards by Travis Kelce. I think that was the key to the win. And 3 sacks of Brian Hoyer as well. I mean, Andrew, you said that was the games. All the games went the way they should. Were you surprised at the stomping that Kansas City gave Houston?
I was extremely surprised because Brian Hoyer actually looked decent.
He looked great through the season. Brian Hoyer looked wonderful. He just phased out. You know, he fizzed out like a cold drink without any fizz left in it. You know.
Marquette, tell me a little bit more about this game.
Man, I tell you what. Like your boy said, Brian Hoyer looked great the whole season. But, man, he sure looked like a deer in headlights in this game. I mean, the boy couldn't.
It's probably because he wasn't there for so long. It's been many weeks.
Right, he was out with that concussion, going through the concussion protocol for 2 weeks. But, I mean, still, though, I don't understand what happened to the ball. He went from looking, just wonderful during the regular season to looking like crap.
I mean, he was like the reason they lost. Baby doll, did you expect this game to be as 30-0 like it was, or you thought it was going to be a little closer? Because I know you pretty much picked the Chiefs to win.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot closer.
Gotcha. Well,
I had the Chiefs to win. I had them to win in a big way. I knew they was going to win big. I didn't think they was going to pitch a shutout. I never thought that for a second, but I thought they was going to win the game.
I did not choose to watch this game as I knew it was going to be a boring game.
Right.
So I just went ahead and slept through it and then caught the highlights and read everything about it on the internet. But anyway, I
watched the whole game and you could have slept through it.
Yeah,
you didn't miss much.
You want your money back and you can't get those 3 hours back. That's
right.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals game was a different story.
Tell you
what about this game?
If they had games like that on every single weekend in the NFL, the NFL would be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
This was like a 70s game or something. You know? Andrew, you watch this
great.
game?
Yeah, first half seemed like it was going to be a good game. It stayed that end sequence at the end of the game. Just like that.
Man, all the way through that game, they just had so much going on. It was like watching popcorn pop, man. It was pop, 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 you know. You gotta learn how to learn how to can up the emotions. All right, football's an emotional game, but you gotta tighten up your emotions. That's what happened to Vontaze Burfict. You know, he went and let his emotions get the best of him.
And they didn't draft him. He didn't get drafted because of that.
Right. It's exactly
and
why.
He had the game of his life, and he's had a great career.
The man could have went down as a hero. He could have went down as a hero, and instead he went down as a scrub just because he had to go and throw a hit on a defenseless receiver coming across the middle of the field.
Ever since Peter Warrick, the Cincinnati Bengals have been dealing with this kind of stuff.
Really, you know, I mean, think about this. Vontaze Burfict is the reason that 3 Pittsburgh Steelers are not playing football that went out this year. Ben Roethlisberger twice.
Hello.
Le'Veon Bell is out for the season
first time they played Pittsburgh in the first meeting
because of Vontaze Burfict.
Right.
Now Brown is out with a concussion because of Burfict.
He can't even walk right now.
I mean, I really think that this guy shouldn't even be playing football if you're going to have that kind of attitude problem. You know, I mean, if you can't check your attitude at the door when you enter a football game and not be out there to try and hurt people, because I think he's trying to hurt people.
Maybe they'll crank this up for a second because Pittsburgh's down with the sickness.
Yeah. We love our music over here at the Sports Guru Show, baby.
Just tell y'all right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, baby, that's all good. Thank you for rocking the boards over there. BD's in the house, the one and only baby doll.
We love our music over here, baby.
The Steelers pulled out an improbable win with the Bengals' help, like my boy Andrew mentioned.
Remember you told me you seen him getting hit with a water bottle on his way out of the stadium?
On the court, right?
He's getting caught out, and the man gets hit with a water bottle.
That's class.
As if it ain't bad enough. He's got torn tendons.
Classy fans, huh?
Right, he's gonna get hit in the head with a water bottle.
Yeah, that's as bad as Philadelphia when they booed Santa Claus.
Yeah, right.
You know? Or as bad as the Bears fans when they threw snowballs at our
How you boo Santa Claus, huh?
Roethlisberger could barely throw. Antonio Brown could barely stand, but won in the end. The Bengals melted down and imploded, blowing a late comeback from behind, 15-0 to lead 16-15 as Pittsburgh kicker Chris Boswell kicked the 35-yarder with 14 seconds left and sealed the Steelers victory. The game was UGLY.
It was
ugly.
It was awesome, dude. I think it was the best game I watched all this year.
Wow, see how ugly so you like ugly football.
I love ugly football. I love it. Well, I'm telling you, it reminded me of the 70s. Boy.
Andrew, you mentioned about the penalties. There was 2 that you mentioned in particular that put Pittsburgh in field goal range. A 15-yarder by your boy Marquette Vontaze Burfict, and another on Pac-Man Jones. What happened?
I mean, just keep your mouth shut.
Y'all gotta tell me what happened.
Just keep your mouth shut, Pac-Man. Just play football and shut up, bro. Because you're a great ball player, but just shut up and play football. I'm gonna tell you.
Both of those guys have had injuries throughout their careers.
And let me tell you,
playoffs, no doubt.
Let me tell you exactly what happened. Joey Porter.
Tell me what happened in detail. Bro.
Joey Porter.
Talk to me about Vontaze Burfict.
All right, so
the Steelers at the 50-yard line.
Right. So first he gets a penalty, and you're chucking it down to the 40-yard line, right?
What was
so
that penalty? What was that penalty?
For hitting Brown coming across the middle of the field.
He pretty much
he leveled Brown.
Unconscious.
That's it. The man was out. The man was out on his behind, laying on his back out.
In your opinion, how illegal was this?
Oh, this was 100% illegal.
Describe it to me.
He threw a shoulder shot into the man's helmet, which is no worse, no better than the shot that Odell Beckham threw last week against your boy.
I got you.
So it looked the same. It was the same shot, except his was a knockout shot because Brown was knocked out on his feet.
Did he need to hit him that way at that point in the game?
You didn't have to hit him at all. He was on his way down.
Did he even catch the ball?
Brown was on his way to the ground.
But he had possession of the ball?
No, he didn't have possession.
So there you go. It wasn't even a catch.
Well, no, I'll take it back. It was a catch.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was a catch. He did did hold on to the ball.
Okay.
And the hit.
Wow, Antonio Brown's a warrior.
He's a warrior. He really is. He came down to the ground with the ball. He was knocked out on his butt. You can tell that his arms flailed.
Baby dog, you saw this
tell
hit?
he was knocked
He's
out.
talking about, did you see this hit?
Joey Porter should never have been on the field.
Okay, so we talked about the first one, 15 yards. But
So
what happened to that
discussed,
with
while
Pac-Man Jones?
that's being discussed,
What happened, Ballcat?
the head coach, the linebackers coach,
Joey Porter was a pretty crazy player himself. He
Yes,
had some bad stuff going on when he was playing.
And that was the same
Lots
thing
of
I was
penalties
thinking
on
with
that.
him being out on the field. Like, what is
How
this dude-
ironic is that?
Right, what is
That's
this
not a
dude-
bit about it. That's a lot of freaking irony.
Right, I'm like, what is this dude even doing on the field? Somebody who had as many problems as he had.
Right,
You out there trying to down Pac-Man Jones, or you trying to down Vontaze Burfict?
Was he even supposed to be on the freaking field?
Absolutely not, which is what the controversy was about. Why did Pac-Man Jones even have to push you out of the way, therefore accidentally hitting the referee? He didn't hit the referee.
You said somebody pushed somebody into somebody.
Right, well, it looked to me like they had players behind your boy, behind Joey Porter, and kind of pushing him into Pac-Man Jones the whole time. Pac-Man Jones reached out to push him, and when he reached out to push him, he hit the referee.
Hello.
I mean, he didn't hit the referee on
Flag
purpose.
start flying.
But at the same time, you put your hands on the referee, flag start flying. So I don't agree with it. I think Joey Porter should have got a penalty too. It should have offset, and they should have took the ball from the 40-yard line.
Kind of like a technical in the NBA.
Absolutely. It should have been offsetting penalties. They should have took the ball from the 40-yard line. Now maybe they make the field goal from there. Maybe they don't. But that's still a much longer field goal. Way different story.
Baby doll, how you feeling about this stuff?
I mean, what about the coach? He can't control his players like that?
That's it.
Oh, the coach can't control his coaches?
Pittsburgh side? He grabbed his arm like that.
What I think is can Marvin Lewis control his players?
Absolutely
Does
not.
he have control over his
players? They got
players?
the most arrests in the NFL since 2010.
That's it. And if you cannot control your players, you don't belong being a head coach in the
Andrew,
NFL.
talk to us a little bit about this meltdown, those two penalties in particular.
I first want to bring up Jeremy Hill fumbling the ball that kind of set
Which set it all off.
You can't really blame him. The defense should have held. Although maybe I'm being a little biased because I'm an LSU guy. So.
Right, well, we all LSU guys in here, and I love Jeremy Hill too. But you still got to hold on to the football, man. You can't cut in that position right there. You've got one job to do, and that's hold on to the ball.
It was the Steelers' first playoff victory since the 2010 AFC Championship, and it was Cincinnati's 8th straight postseason loss, Marquette. So Marvin Lewis, not only does he not have control of his players and coaches, he can't win a playoff game.
I think Marvin Lewis has got to go. If I was the general manager of that,
they just can't fire the guy.
I mean, if I was the general manager, I would cut him.
Today,
sorry.
Crazy, you got coaches like Lovie Smith that got
booted out
right
after a year and a half. How you boot Lovie Smith after a year and a half?
Like my boy Andrew mentioned, the Bengals had the lead and the ball with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go when running back LSU's own Jeremy Hill got stripped and lost the ball at the Steeler 9. That's when Roethlisberger, who was out of the game with an injury at the time, came back to get the Steelers to midfield.
The man's got torn ligaments in his shoulder. Comes back in the game and wins the game. You know what? I gotta give it to Roethlisberger. The dude is amazing. The dude's amazing.
He got in the midfield where the penalties got them to the winning field goal. He was 18 of 31 for 229 yards and a touchdown. The Steelers' no-name running backs did gain 167 yards combined.
Right.
Antonio Brown, before he went out, it looked like he was gonna be paralyzed.
Like I told you earlier, I think y'all are looking at history. You're looking at the greatest wide receiver that ever played football.
He had
playing the best
119 yards that game. But one of them was for 60 yards against that Bengals defense. The Bengals were held to less than 100 yards rushing total. And A.J. Green only had 5 catches. It's hard to win without having him in the game.
I mean, for some reason, A.J. Green just did not get used as much this year.
It must be, but that game in particular must have been A.J. McCarron, who was sacked 3 times, had an interception, and only had 212 yards passing. Right. So, I mean, obviously, our boy Andy Dalton would have made a difference.
They need Andy. I mean, I believe if they would have had Andy Dalton in that game, not only would they have won that game,
this game is so hotly contested. I mean, they had referees at midfield before the game lined up, like making sure that either team wouldn't go across each other's for the practice. For practice.
Right, they knew before this game
started.
The
NFL warned them about the penalties before the game.
That's it. They knew there was going to be issues in this game before the game even started. And like I said earlier, Marvin Lewis, If you can't keep
Nice
control of
guy.
your play, he's a great coach, I think.
Right.
I think he's a great coach, and I think he's a nice guy. But when it comes down to it, you got to enter that locker room and say, listen up, fellas. Any one of you guys calls me a penalty in this game that's unneeded.
Leave the criminal intent at home.
I'm throwing your ass
Leave
off
the criminal behavior in the street. Right, yeah.
That's it. And not on the bench. I'm throwing your ass to the locker room. You know, you going. Vontaze Burfict in specific. I would have pointed at him before the game and said, listen, I don't want any out of the you. I'm talking to you, Burfict. I don't want any crazy
Vince Lombardi, and Hank Strand, who I played in my intro, and would not have put up with it.
I mean, you're talking about coaches that would never in a million years not have control of their football team. They had players who listened to them as if they were